Hello there. So let's talk a little bit about restrictions, or more specifically food restriction, shall we? So when people try and lose weight or try and lose fat, to be more specific, they initially assume that they've got to restrict or sacrifice a lot of the foods that they enjoy eating in order to get there. And this is usually down to the stigma involved with these foods. Society has basically told us that certain foods are good for weight loss, such as fruits and vegetables, and certain foods are bad for weight loss, such as chocolate, such as cake, such as takeaways. So instantly, what's going on in your mind is you're going to go, okay, I want to lose weight, therefore let's cut out every food that isn't supportive of a fat loss goal. So for example, you take a bar of chocolate and you go, right, I'm no longer going to eat chocolate because I want to lose weight, therefore I'm going to actively force myself not to eat it, despite the fact that you really, really do. And this is a problem, because have you ever forced yourself not to do something which you really, really, really want to do, which makes you want to do it even more? Like, do you remember when we were younger, if your mum or dad ever said to you something along the lines of, don't touch that, or don't mess with this, instantly the childlike response within our heads is saying, I really want to do that. So take this for example. Don't think of a purple dinosaur. Now tell me what's the first thing that you want to think of. Guarantee it's a purple dinosaur. This is just a basic example of what happens when you forcefully restrict yourself from doing something. Now think about what happens when you forcefully restrict yourself from eating certain foods which you really want to eat or which you really enjoy. You're basically saying to yourself, no, I cannot eat chocolate, I cannot eat cake, which then forces your brain to go into overdrive because it continuously thinks about eating the food that you restrict. This is why a lot of people fail their weight loss journey, because they're ultimately sacrificing the things that they enjoy eating and they really do want to eat. And eventually they'll give up. But when they get their hands on the food that they've been restricted themselves from, they won't be able to manage, they won't be able to help themselves. They'll probably overconsume it because they're in their heads, they're thinking, okay, right, after this chocolate bar, I'm going to restrict it again, but I don't know when the next time I'm going to be able to eat it is. So I'm just going to eat the fucking lot, which ultimately causes them to fall off the track. So instead of restricting the foods that you really want to enjoy, restrain yourself from eating like a bellend. If you want to eat chocolate, but restrain yourself from smashing off a whole bar of Galaxy every single day. There's certain methods and there's certain things that you can do, because that way you'll be able to eat whatever you want. You won't have to, sacrifice your favourite foods. And provided you're still in a calorie deficit and hitting your caloric targets, you will still lose fat. There are certain methods and certain things that you can actually do to help with this. So for example, instead of buying foods which aren't portioned out, for example a huge bar of Galaxy, buy foods which are portioned out. Get like little bars of Freddos or little packets of crisps. If you feel like you always overconsume these foods, once you get your hands on them, actually set a plan of action in place to consume these foods every single day. I used to coach someone called Emily who couldn't help herself when she got her hands on this chocolate spread that she really enjoyed eating. So she had to forcefully remove it from the house because she knew that once she got her hands on it, she'll overconsume it. So what we did was we said to her, right, put away 200 calories every single day, specifically for the sole purpose of eating chocolate spread on toast every single night. And what do you think happened? She didn't feel the need to overconsume it because she knew that she had calories aside specifically for this, and she knew that she was going to eat this thing every single day. So she wasn't restricting herself, she wasn't sacrificing this thing, and therefore there was no reason for her to overthink about it or overconsume it. And she lost fat because of it. She lost fat by specifically planning on eating this chocolate spread on toast every single night. Weird, right? Well, not really, but yeah, you get it. Start working on your habits and behaviours in order to stop yourself from over-consuming things like a dickhead. If you want some chocolate, eat some chocolate, then give it 5 or 10 minutes whilst that chocolate actually settles in your stomach and your body starts producing the hormones within it in order to say to you, right, we don't need any more chocolate. Because if you literally just sit down and smash off a whole bar of chocolate without even resting, it's going to take so much longer for your body to realise you don't need that whole bar of chocolate. If you instead have a bar of chocolate, wait 10-15 minutes, you're going to give your body more than enough time to give it the sensible and optimal responses. So stop restricting your favourite foods, just restrain yourself from doing it. Because if you restrict your favourite foods, then the issue that you're going to run into very, very quickly is going to be an adherence issue. You're not going to adhere to your diet for a long enough period of time in order for results to take place. You're going to adhere to it for a couple of weeks, realise it's too difficult, realise you miss chocolate, realise you miss takeaways, realise you miss cakes, and then you're just going to fall off track because you cannot help yourself. Stop restricting Instead, restrain. I hope that makes sense and I hope that helps. If you like this video, feel free to give it a like. If you've got any questions that you want to ask, feel free to comment below. I'll be more than happy to have a discussion with you. And subscribe to this channel in order to catch the next one. And if you want any free fitness or fat loss based content, feel free to follow my Instagram at k.p_health. Take it easy and I'll see you in the next one.